Rick, thanks for joining us. We're going to talk a little bit. Why are you here? You talked a little bit off camera about it, but talk to the fans about what you're doing here as your mid-season checkups.
Well, the way our player development program works is that at the beginning of the year we set goals for the players on what we call our individual development plan, or IDP, and then we do a mid-season review, and that's what we're here doing now. So we meet individually with all the players, and we talk about where they've come from the start of the year till now, and then see if they want to make any updates, or with our evaluations, if there's anything that we want to suggest for changes for them to put in the IDP for the second half of the season. And then at the end of the year, we review them in our exit meetings and see how the improvement was made, and where they've started and where they ended, and hopefully along the way we've seen improvement.
This year is a little bit unique for Oklahoma City. In years past, they've had more players like Josh Green and established AHL vets. This year, it's kind of sink or swim with the prospects, the young guys, trial by fire. Are you impressed with some of the development of these players?
No, you're right. You know, I think it is a different sort of a player that we have here now. It's a younger group of guys. From my perspective, it's exciting because, you know, we've got some young guys cutting their teeth in a pretty good league, and it's a tough league to play in, and they're learning from some still established veterans. You know, we've got still some players here, some older guys that are still helping lead the way. But I'm impressed with some of the things that I've seen from the start of the year till now. I think all those guys like David Musil, Martin Gernat, Travis Wanek, to name three, have really improved throughout the course of the season.
When you look at guys like Tyler Pitlick and getting the call up earlier this season, and how encouraging is that to you and the organization to now have more younger guys getting the call up this year?
Well, I think it's great. I met with Tyler yesterday, and the one thing I've seen with Tyler is a complete change in attitude of from last year to this year. Like, there's excitement in him, and you know, he's had that taste of NHL caliber hockey, and he's had some success there. Unfortunately, he got hurt, but he's excited to get the call back to go up there again. And you know, the same with you know, some of the other, Anton Landers, another guy that had a good meeting with yesterday. And you know, they're all really quality individuals that are really bought into the program that we're running here in development, and it's fun to work with those guys.
You mentioned Tyler Pitlick's injury earlier this season, and another guy that unfortunately is injured is Curtis Hamilton, but it seemed like he really turned the corner this year.
Curtis was playing very well after he came back from his previous knee injury. He trained really hard to get back into really good shape. He was really strong, and then he hurt the other knee. But he was playing really well. Hopefully he recovers. It's not as serious as the first one, but he'll recover and get back to playing again soon, and hopefully gets back to that same level he was playing at before his injury.
We talked to Todd Nelson before we sit down with you, and he mentioned that the Oilers were trying to get bigger, physical, meaner, more grit, and you look at the guys like Curtis Hamilton, who's gotten bigger and he's playing a more heavy game. Pitlick's playing a more heavy game. You got Travis Wanek waiting in the wings. Mitch Moroz is going to be coming up in the pros next year. Are you encouraged by the signs? Yeah. So are you encouraged by the signs of the future?
I am. You know what? And our battle cry here in all our meetings is that the players have to compete, and they got to be hard to play against. And that's got to be the culture that we start to create with these players that are here in Oklahoma City, but all our amateur prospects as well. All across the board, we want players that are going to compete hard all the time and be hard to play against on a nightly basis. And players like Juju Harkahara and Mitch Moroz, if anybody that's watched those two guys play, have seen the caliber of play that they play. Like, they're big, strong kids that are starting to fit the mold of where we're going.
He's not here anymore because he's in the NHL, but Martin Marincin is a guy who's developed very nicely. Talk about him and the way he's playing.
Well, Martin had a great head for the game always, and his biggest thing is strength. And he's working on that. Like, he's almost getting up to 200 pounds now. You know, he's strong, but he's very solid two-way defenseman. He's good positionally. He's got a great stick and a good sense of anticipation. And like, he's going to continue to get better in the NHL.
Last question. The wins haven't translated in the NHL this season, but when you look at the development, the future of this organization, guys like Martin Marincin, Oscar Klefbom, Darnell Nurse, the heavier forwards as well, bright signs come?
Oh, bright signs. The guys you mentioned for sure. You know, Carriere, Moroz, and Martin Gernat here too. Like, some people forget about him. Like, he's almost 200 pounds now, and he's gained a lot of strength this year. talking to Kevin Hanlon, the strength coach. They've done a good job here with his programming, and he's a lot stronger now, and he's got a lot of skill. You know, a big rangy guy with good puck moving skills and that, and good skater. So I think the future looks really bright from my perspective in player development. You know, the kids are all working really hard at trying to improve and make it to the National Hockey League.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us today, Rick.
Always appreciate it, Chris. Thanks for having me on.